from Atlanta to Winnipeg. Your thoughts?
It's going to be good, play back in Canada. Obviously, I got a chance to play junior hockey up here, and I loved every minute of it. And the atmosphere up here it's awesome. Hockey's, it's a way of life up here. So I think it'll be a good experience for the boys to play in Winnipeg.
When this process seemed to be underway, were you quietly hoping that the move would be made, or were you boisterous and loud about it, hoping that NHL hockey would return to Winnipeg?
You never know what's going to happen. So it's exciting for the prospect to be able to come back to Canada and play. And it's nice playing, going to the rink in 85-degree weather. But at the end of the day, hockey is so much better in Canada. It's like I said, it's the way of life up here. So it's you get the fans that are so passionate about it, and they playing in front of a packed house every night's what it's all about. And that's more important than going to the rink in 85-degree weather.
Have you had a chance to talk to some of your Thrasher buddies about this potential move? It's obviously come to fruition now, and do you think you guys will all travel north together?
Yeah, a few guys. The latter sent out a text a couple weeks ago just saying, there's a good chance we could possibly be going to Winnipeg, so be ready and get your warm weather clothes ready. So I think the guys are excited for it. There's a lot of Canadians on the team, so they know what it means to play in their home country and to have that opportunity. So everybody's excited for it.
Are you ready to become stars again? Because you've been playing in relative anonymity in Atlanta, and you'll go to Winnipeg and be instantly recognizable. Are you ready for that?
Oh yeah, like I said, playing here in London was kind of a mini way of that. Obviously, it wasn't as big of a stage as the NHL, but it was pretty big. I think when we were only teenagers here, where you go to the grocery store and get noticed by kids, it was that kind of preps you for the NHL and what it's going to be like to play in a Canadian market. So it's fun, and for me, I love it. I love talking to people. I love meeting new people and chatting about hockey in the grocery stores. I like doing that. Some people don't have that personality or a little more private, but for me, I love that kind of atmosphere. And hockey's my life, just like the Canadians.
Does it bother you at all that many Americans just don't take to the game of hockey the same way that, say, people in the northern part of the United States and most of Canada do?
Oh no, there's just a lot of stuff going on in the States. It's just how it is. There's all sorts of sports. There's so many people there. There's way more people in the States too. So that's the other thing people don't realize is, there's not as many people in Canada, but there's enough following in the States where we get good crowds in certain cities, and Nashville is a good place to play. Like, you would never expect that, and San Jose was an unbelievable place to play. So there's some good spots in the States that are still great atmosphere, and hockey's still growing. It's a process to grow the game, and I think the NHL is doing a good job now of working with kids and having the NHL players do the kids programs that kind of to get them thinking about hockey and get their parents thinking about hockey, and also helping with the cost of hockey because it's not cheap. So the NHL does a really good job at helping that. That's how you grow it. You got to help the kids be able to afford it first, and then they'll start loving the game.
So in terms of growth in Atlanta, is the game going to be on hold there because they've obviously packed up and moved to Winnipeg, and you'd have to think that this is a negative if you're hoping to grow the game in Georgia?
Yeah, it's tough. But the roots that they've planted there are already in. Like, there's youth hockey going on there, and kids playing hockey, and kids that are excited. Whenever an NHL team comes to a city, there's always going to be youth hockey that spurts up from it, and that's what your goal is. And there is youth hockey there, and kids playing, and kids that like the game. It's just, that maybe that's not indicative of the fan base, but there is a lot of hockey going on around there, which is good for the game. And just sometimes it's hard to run an NHL team in a city like that.
Has there been a perception about Winnipeg, maybe negative, that a lot of NHLers just wouldn't want to go to play in such a northern center as opposed to playing in 85-degree weather for most of the season? Or do you think that's overblown by, say, the media and maybe insecure fans?
It's tough to say. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really care. I grew up in Fulton, New York, where we get so much snow, and it was cold. It's not cold like there. Like, that's frigid cold, but for me, whenever the winter came, it was hockey season. You know what I mean? You gotta, go out in your snowsuit to hockey practice or whatever. It was like that's when hockey season started. So it's exciting for me when it's like that, and I love it. So some guys might have a different opinion, but that's their choice, and they might not like the freezing cold, but I do.
I'm not sure how people can really wrap their heads around professional athletes who get paid a lot of money and who get a chance to live a dream can actually have a qualm or an issue with where they actually ply their trade. Do you have to remind fans that each situation is different for a player, or do you side with the fans here and say, you know what, we really have no business complaining. We're living a dream, making lots of cash. Let's just go do it.
Yeah, you know, it's I feel fortunate to be able to play hockey for a living and do what I do, and it's what I want to do my whole life, and I've been able to fulfill it. And I don't, like you said, I don't really have any qualms. I'll go play wherever I can right now. But some guys might have, you know what I mean? They have different views of it, and if it's just because he plays hockey, makes a lot of money, it doesn't mean he's got to be miserable for 8 months. If that's going to make somebody that miserable to go there, I think. You know what I mean? Why would they want to do that? Like, you don't want to be miserable. You don't want your family life to be miserable, your wife to be miserable, your kids to be miserable. It's just because you're an athlete doesn't mean you should be miserable for 8 months. So if they have that hard of a time with it, maybe that's their decision why they wouldn't go there or want to play in somewhere that's that cold. But like I said, I'm a young guy. I don't really care. I go up and like to play anywhere. I just love playing hockey, so it doesn't matter to me.
A lot of talk about the Winnipeg team nickname. I've got to say the Jets, there's legacy there. It's a brand that's established. Everybody knows Winnipeg hockey, at least from an NHL perspective, as the Jets. Do you have a thought on that, what you'd like to be called when the season starts in October?
I don't know, whatever. I just want the sweater over my back. That's all I really care about. I don't care about the name or whatever we play for. As long as the fans are happy and they like what the team's name is and the nickname. So I'll wear whatever.
Winnipeg Jets forward Rob Schremp, you like that?
Yeah, sounds great. Sure.